My major is in women's studies and I'm minoring in Aboriginal studies. I'm in 4th year and I hope to take classes next year, yes. I think my 3 words would be, okay, this is going to sound really cheesy, but my 2 first words would be communication, services, and then equity. And then in one sentence, I would say that I would like to, through opening a two-way dialogue with students, discover the services that are lacking or that could be improved while maintaining equity work at all levels of the Student Federation. Yeah, so I hope to accomplish a couple of things. 2 of my kind of big ideas would be getting a regular breakfast program going for students, and so this is something that the food bank already does. They have it kind of changes from year to year, but they do have a breakfast program, and sometimes it's weekly, sometimes it's monthly. It depends on like the programming for the center at the time. So I would like to get a consistent, steady breakfast program for students because it's a very important meal, and with our student lives, with our budgets, it's not always something that we can accomplish. A second idea or like project that I have is that I'd really like to start implementing regular surveys with the membership. So really being able to, and that's what I mean when I say two-way dialogue, really being able to connect with students and figure out like what is it that they feel they have already, what are they missing, what services can we improve upon, and really work on developing this portfolio in a way that is constantly responding to student needs. So I'm running for this position, which I think is a bit of a question I'm already getting, is why are you moving away from VP Equity? And I'm really hoping, first off, what interests me about this position is definitely the communications aspect of it. I'm really interested to see how we can improve the communications aspect with students, especially after doing the bilingualism audit this year as VP Equity. I'm starting to see where communication can be improved and what works with students, what it doesn't work, like what kind of content are they looking for, like short, long, stuff like that. So really improving so that our newsletters are quick to the point and like full of the information that students are seeking and things like that. And I think the experiences that I can bring is, I've been on the exec, I've spent a year as Vice President of Equity. I understand the organization, I understand the like relationship we have with the administration, and I can bring that experience to this new portfolio, or to this portfolio in this new position, is just like continuing to build on everything that I've learned this year, and bringing the skills that I brought this, or that I learned this year, to this level, to this portfolio. I'd say my top best thing was the first powwow and celebration of Indigenous cultures here at University of Ottawa. It's definitely #1 because it's the first time that we've had a large-scale event that gave space for Indigenous culture on this campus, and so getting to see students wear, you know, their regalia, being able to wear my sash and like jig in front of like all my friends, which I would never normally do, was a really meaningful and emotional experience. Worst, I think, is like constantly just continuously working on improving the day-to-day tasks. I think like sometimes it can be overwhelming, and so I definitely hope that this year I've kind of learned like, okay, this is what it looks like, and here are the skills, and I feel like next year I will be able to really implement the skills to like adjust the way that I've been working as an exec and really start responding to both the larger picture projects as well as the day-to-day tasks that need to happen. I am running with the team Student Action, and I'm running with Student Action just as I did last year because I can't imagine running without them at this point. We've been through a lot together. We went through an election last year together, we had this year together, and I'm running with them because Student Action, in my mind, is really the progressive slate on campus. We're the ones who are bringing these, you know, ideas to fight for student rights, to, you know, bring equity to all levels of the Student Federation, of the organization, and on campus, and they're the ones who are the most in line with the vision that I have for the work that I'd like to be doing. Communication is key. Whenever, and it's like, we're not, and it happens, right? People disagree or people bring different ideas and points of view, and so I think just being able to be honest and constantly be in dialogue with one another and work through that is how we can overcome any different ideas that we might be having or difficulties that we might be having. So just like being honest and being able to say like, hey, I actually don't agree with this, I think we should move in this direction and here's why, and kind of having that give and take relationship of collaboration. So when you run to get elected, your main priority is working for students. And so if I got elected on my own and with members of a different slate, that would continue to be my priority, is fulfilling my mandate to the best that I can for students, fulfilling the ideas that I bring to the best I can, and just working out a good working relationship with everyone else. And we saw that this year, where Pat Markey, for example, wasn't on our slate when we ran last year, but we still maintain a really good working relationship. Like, we've worked on projects together, we have fun in the office, like we still have he's someone I'd call a friend, you know? And so I think it's just, you know, as much as I really want my whole slate to get in, if I'm in that situation, it'll just be like maintaining my priority of working for students while collaborating with the people that are part of my team. Flexibility. Lots of flexibility. I think you come in thinking it's going to be something and it ends up being this whole other world that you couldn't possibly begin to imagine, and you need to be flexible in how you're going to respond to things, because and I'm not lying, every situation you deal with has to be dealt with differently. Like, there's no kind of, you know, like, you have to be flexible and constantly evolve in this position and learn how to really react to what's happening in the best way possible. I think also a level of organization and time management skills are crucial. You are a representative, you are a manager, you are an administrator, you know, you're putting on all these different hats as an executive, so being able to manage that time in those projects is definitely very important. And then passion would be the last quality, like really being passionate about the work you're doing, about working with and for students, and that level of passion is the motivation that drives you through the year. Okay, wow, I wasn't expecting this question. Can we go to the superhero question again? Okay, in all seriousness, if I had a signature dance move, it would probably be stomping my feet, because I always stomp my feet to the beat of music, and that's kind of how I figure out where the rest of my body is going to go, and so like just like stomping my feet to keep the rhythm is definitely like probably my signature dance move. Lord of the Rings right now, and I think I would be either Gandalf or Aragorn, not gonna lie. They're both like super big badasses in their own ways, and so Gandalf because of the magic, but Aragorn because of his sword, like his actual sword. I actually would stay in this country, and I'm gonna put the spin on it, is that I love this country and I love this land, and I have a connection to this land through my Indigenous heritage and my culture, and as much as I want to explore the world and travel the world, I think home for me really is this land. But if I had to pick a specific place, I would like to go back to Winnipeg, to where my family's from.